You didn't stumble here by mistake. The path that led you to this moment has been unfolding quietly, step by step, even when you could not see it. Life has carried you through storms, through nights that felt endless, through mornings when hope seemed too far to reach. And yet, you are here, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by a sacred call that has been echoing in your soul. This message is not ordinary. It is not just words, but a living whisper meant to awaken what has been sleeping within you. The ache you've been carrying, the longing you could never explain, the questions that rise in the silence. All of it has been preparing you for this moment. The divine does not shout. It whispers. It moves not through chaos, but through the quiet invitation of your own heart. And now, as you hear these words, I invite you to listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Because what you are about to hear is not a story to entertain you. It is a reminder, a mirror, a sacred sign that the universe has not forgotten you, that Krishna's love, eternal and boundless, is nearer than your own breath. Stay here, stay open. This is the beginning of your awakening. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe slowly. Can you feel it? The subtle rhythm that never leaves you? Beneath the noise of the world, beneath the worries that tighten your chest, there is a presence that does not waver. It is not bound by time. It is not shaken by fear. It is Krishna's eternal whisper, flowing like a stream beneath every storm. From the beginning of your life, he has been walking with you. Through the laughter of childhood, when the world felt endless and free, he was there. Through the nights of loneliness, when tears blurred your vision, he was there. Even in moments when you doubted his existence, when anger and confusion built walls around your heart, he was there, watching, waiting, whispering softly, I have not left you. You may think the divine speaks only in miracles, but his voice often comes in silence, the rustle of leaves at dawn, the fragrance of rain touching dry soil, the unexpected kindness of a stranger who smiles at you in passing. These are not coincidences. They are threads, woven carefully, to remind you that you are part of something infinite. Every ache you have carried has not been wasted. Every unanswered question has been a doorway. Even the mistakes, the regrets, the choices you wish you could undo. Yes, even those have been used to shape you, not break you. Krishna does not look at you through the eyes of judgment. He looks at you through the eyes of eternity. Where you see failure, he sees growth. Where you see weakness, he sees the tender soil where faith can bloom. Where you see emptiness, he sees the sacred space where his love can pour in. The world has taught you to measure yourself by success, by comparison, by the weight of others' approval. But Krishna calls you to measure yourself by love, by surrender, by the courage to rise again, even when your knees tremble. Remember the story of Arjuna on the battlefield. Overwhelmed, broken, unwilling to fight, he laid down his bow in despair. And yet, in that moment of weakness, Krishna revealed the eternal truth, that the soul is not destroyed by death, that the body is only a garment, that beyond fear and loss, there is an immortal essence, unchanging, untouched, divine. Arjuna's despair became the gateway to revelation. And so it is with you. What you see as your breaking point may be the very threshold where the divine enters. Your struggles are not proof of abandonment. They are the soil where faith takes root. Do not curse the nights of confusion. They are the canvas where the first light of dawn becomes visible. Do not despise your wounds. They are the very places where divine healing flows. Krishna's whisper does not demand perfection. It invites surrender. He does not say, be flawless before you come to me. He says, come to me, and I will make you whole. He does not require you to carry the weight alone. He asks only that you place it in his hands. Even now, as you listen, his hand is extended, not to punish, not to push you down, but to lift you into the remembrance of who you truly are. Not a mistake, not a burden, but a soul woven from eternity, called to love, destined to awaken. The whisper you feel is real. The warmth that stirs in your heart as you hear these words is not imagination. It is Krishna's presence, wrapping around you like a golden scarf in the wind. Stay with it. Let it carry you. This is the beginning of trust. This is the whisper of the eternal. There is a moment in every heart when resistance begins to soften, when the walls built from pride, fear, and pain slowly start to crumble. It does not always happen with a loud thunder. Sometimes it begins like a drop of water falling into a still pond. A gentle reminder that control is not the same as strength, that surrender is not the same as weakness. In truth, surrender is the highest form of strength, because it means you are no longer carrying the burden alone. The world has trained you to fight, to push, to prove yourself. You were told that to surrender is to lose, but Krishna whispers another truth. Surrender is the gateway to freedom. Arjuna discovered this on the battlefield. Confused, trembling, blinded by despair, he confessed to Krishna, "I do not know what is right. My heart is weighed down. I surrender to you. Guide me." And in that moment, the darkness of uncertainty began to dissolve. Because when you surrender, you are not giving up life. You are giving life back to its source. Krishna does not need your perfection. He does not demand flawless devotion. He asks only for your heart, open, honest, even if trembling. What does surrender look like in your life? It is not about abandoning your responsibilities. It is not about escaping the world. Surrender is the quiet choice to trust, to believe that there is a hand guiding you, even when you cannot see the path ahead. It is the courage to say, "I do not understand, but I will walk. I do not see the end, but I will trust you to lead me." When you place your life in His hand, the weight of uncertainty begins to shift. Your steps may still falter, but you will not fall, because you are carried, you are guided. The dance of surrender is not a one-time act. It is a rhythm. Each day, you are invited to release the chains of fear again and again. Each morning you can whisper, "This day is yours." Each night, as sleep takes you, you can lay down the worries and trust. Even in dreams, I am held. Imagine your heart as a lotus, closed tight by years of pain, shame, and striving. But with each breath of surrender, the petals begin to open. The sunlight of Krishna's presence warms them, and slowly, gently, the flower blooms in His light. This is what happens when you stop clinging to control. Your heart unfolds, your soul begins to dance, and life, even with its challenges, becomes a melody of trust. There will still be storms, there will still be shadows, but within you, there will also be a light that does not go out. Because surrender does not remove struggle, it transforms it. It gives meaning to the pain. It gives purpose to the path. It turns despair into devotion, wounds into wisdom, weakness into worship. This is why the saints speak of surrender not as loss, but as liberation. To bow your head is not to shrink. It is to rise into something greater than yourself. To kneel is not to fall. It is to stand in the strength of the eternal. Krishna is not asking you to surrender out of fear. He is inviting you to surrender out of love, because love is the only bond that does not enslave. It frees, it expands, it lifts you beyond the narrow self, into the vastness of the divine. So breathe, place your burdens down, whisper, even if softly, even if with trembling lips, "I am yours." And in that simple prayer, you will discover the secret of peace. Not the peace that comes from perfect circumstances, but the peace that comes from knowing you are never alone. This is the dance of surrender. And once you begin, the music will carry you forever. Trust does not come easily. It is born in the silent struggle between fear and faith. Every time you are faced with uncertainty, the mind rushes to protect itself. It tells you to hold tighter, to plan harder, to predict every possible outcome. But the heart whispers another way. The heart says, "Let go. Trust that the unseen hand is already holding you." To trust Krishna is not blind faith. It is not the denial of reality. It is the recognition that there is a wisdom greater than your own. It is the humble acceptance that you do not see the whole picture, and yet the one guiding your steps sees it all. Look at the river. It does not know where it will meet the ocean. Yet it flows, carrying everything with it, never doubting the sea will embrace it. This is trust. Not passive, not careless, but alive and steady. Trust is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in the fires of trial, when your plans collapse, when doors close, when prayers seem unanswered. That is when trust is born, because it is in those moments that you must choose fear or faith. Arjuna trembled on the battlefield. The weight of duty pressed upon him. He saw the faces of those he loved, now turned into enemies by fate. In that crushing moment, he could have run, but instead, he listened. He placed his trembling heart in Krishna's hands, and trust transformed despair into clarity. The courage to trust is not about removing fear. It is about standing, even while fear whispers in your ear. It is about walking, even when the path is shrouded in mist. It is about breathing, even when uncertainty presses on your chest. Krishna never promised a life without storms. He promised his presence within them. When the sea raged, when the thunder roared, he walked calmly upon the waters. Not because the storm was weak, but because his strength was greater. And he invites you into that same calm. Do not fear. I am with you. When you trust, you do not escape the storm, but you find a stillness within it, a stillness that cannot be broken. The world will call you naive. They will say trust is foolish, but the saints smile because they know a secret. To trust Krishna is to anchor yourself in eternity. It is to root your life in the soil of the infinite. Winds may come, rains may pour, but the tree that trusts its roots will not fall. Your heart longs for this trust, because deep within, you are tired of carrying it all alone. You are weary of being your own savior. You were not created to hold the weight of the universe. You were created to rest in the one who does. So take a step today, a step of trust. It does not need to be grand. It can be as simple as a whisper, I do not understand, but I will trust you. It can be a breath, released into his hands. It can be a tear, surrendered instead of hidden. Every act of trust plants a seed, and over time, that seed becomes an unshakable tree. The storms may rage, the winds may howl, but within you there will be a song, the song of one who trusts, the song of a soul anchored in Krishna's love. So breathe deeply, let the fears rise, and then let them fall at his feet. Lift your eyes. The horizon is glowing, even if you cannot see it clearly. Because the one who guides the stars also guides you, and he has never lost his way. This is the courage to trust, and it will carry you through every storm. There is a strength in surrender that the world does not understand. The world says, fight harder. The world says, control more. But Krishna whispers, let go. Surrender is not defeat. It is not weakness. It is the highest form of courage, because it takes courage to open your hands when fear tells you to cling. It takes courage to bow when pride demands you stand tall. It takes courage to whisper, not my will, but yours. When you surrender, you are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself. You are finding the part of you that is eternal, the part that is not chained to outcomes, the part that knows joy even in pain, the part that is free. Arjuna found this freedom. On the battlefield, he was torn. His heart split between love and duty. He wanted to run. He wanted to escape the burden. But Krishna showed him another way, a way not of running, but of surrendering. When Arjuna placed his bow in Krishna's hands, he did not become weaker. He became unstoppable. Because his actions no longer belonged to fear, they belonged to the divine. And what belongs to the divine cannot be broken. Surrender is the art of unclenching the fist, of laying down the illusion of control, of saying, I cannot, but you can. It does not mean you stop moving. It does not mean you sit idly. It means your actions are free from the poison of attachment. You still walk, you still strive, but your heart rests. Your heart is no longer chained to the outcome. You are free to love without fear of loss. You are free to give without clinging to reward. You are free to serve without demanding recognition. This is the freedom of surrender. It is not resignation. It is release. It is not the end of effort. It is the beginning of peace. Look at the lotus. It blooms in the mud, yet it never clings to the mud. It opens each morning, surrendering to the sun. It closes each night, surrendering to the darkness. It is untouched because it trusts. Surrender makes you like the lotus. You live in the world, yet the world does not bind you. You walk among storms, yet storms cannot drown you, because you are held. Held by the one who shaped the stars. Held by the one who knows your every breath. Your surrender is not thrown into the void. It is received by hands that never fail. Hands that once lifted a mountain to protect his people. Hands that held the flute and played songs of eternal joy. Hands that reach now, even toward you. So what is it you hold too tightly? What is it that weighs your heart? Place it in his hands. Place it gently, even trembling, and watch what happens. The burden you thought would break you becomes light. The chains you thought unbreakable dissolve. The fear you thought endless begins to fade, because you were never meant to carry it alone. You were meant to walk in surrender, and in surrender, you are not smaller, you are infinite, because you are united with the infinite. So today, whisper the prayer of the surrendered heart. I give you my plans. I give you my fears. I give you my love. And I trust that in your hands, everything becomes whole. This is not weakness. This is strength beyond measure. The strength of one who has stopped fighting against the flow. The strength of one who has begun flowing with Krishna himself. This is the gift of surrender, and it is waiting for you. There is a path hidden in plain sight. The path is not found in the noise of the world. It is not built by ambition or paved with applause. It is quiet. It is golden. It is lit not by the sun, but by his presence. This is the path of divine light. Every soul, at some moment, stands at the crossroads. One road is crowded. It is full of voices shouting, "This way, this way." It is full of glittering promises that fade as soon as you touch them. It is full of shadows dressed as light. And yet the heart grows weary on that road. The other road is narrow. It is lined with silence. It asks for trust. It asks for faith. It asks for surrender. But though the road is narrow, it shines. Every step glows beneath your feet, because every step is guided by him. To walk in divine light does not mean life will never wound you. It does not mean storms will avoid your skies. But it does mean you will never walk alone. It does mean the storm will not destroy you. It does mean that even in the valley, light will find you, because he is the light, and where he is, darkness cannot remain. Think of a child holding their father's hand. The road may be rough, the night may be deep, but the child does not fear, because the hand that holds them is stronger than the night. So it is with Krishna. When you walk in his light, fear loses its voice. Shadows lose their grip. Even death loses its sting. Because his light is not of this world, it does not flicker like a candle. It burns eternal, steady, unshaken. It is the light that danced on the waters before creation. It is the light that shines in your heart, even now. But here is the secret. You must choose it. You must choose to turn from the noise. You must choose to quiet the endless cravings. You must choose to listen, not to the world, but to the whisper of your soul. And when you do, the light will reveal itself. It will shine through scriptures. It will shine through silence. It will shine through the smile of a stranger or the cry of your own heart. And step by step, you will see that you are not lost. You are led. Led by the one who is both the path and the destination. So what does it mean today for you to walk in this light? It may mean forgiving someone who has hurt you. It may mean releasing the burden you've carried too long. It may mean pausing to listen instead of rushing ahead. It may mean choosing love when anger seems easier. small steps. But in His light, even the smallest steps shine, and each step carries you closer to Him. The world will try to pull you back. It will whisper, "You are missing out." It will say, "Your way is too simple, too quiet." But listen closely. Peace is not found in more noise. Peace is found in His light. The saints knew this. The sages knew this. They left behind palaces and crowns because they had tasted something greater. They had tasted the sweetness of His presence. And once you taste that, nothing else satisfies. Walking in divine light is not a one-time choice. It is a daily turning. It is a daily surrender. It is waking each morning and whispering, "Lead me." It is laying down each night and whispering, "Thank you." It is simple. It is sacred. It is the way home. So take the first step today. Step off the crowded road. Step into the golden quiet. Step into His light. And as you do, you will discover what your heart has always known. You were never meant to stumble in the dark. You were created to walk in divine light, forever. And now, beloved soul, our time here together draws to a close. But remember, endings are not truly endings. They are doorways. Doorways into deeper silence. Doorways into deeper remembrance. The words you have heard are not just sounds. They are seeds. Seeds planted in the soil of your heart. If you water them with trust, with love, with practice, they will grow. They will grow into light. They will grow into peace. They will grow into a life that feels like prayer, even in the simplest moments. Know this truth. You are not walking alone. The divine has walked beside you all along. Every breath has been His gift. Every moment has been His invitation. So as you step away from these words, step gently. Step with awareness. Step with the whisper still echoing within you. You are loved. You are guided. You are mine. Carry that truth into your day. Carry it into your night. Carry it into your tomorrow. And may your path always shine with the golden light of His presence. This is not goodbye. This is only a reminder that He is nearer than your own heartbeat. And whenever you forget, close your eyes, call His name, and you will feel it again. The eternal hand upon your heart, guiding you home.